Donald Trump is furious over the fact that prosecutors decided to drop charges against Jussie Smollett. In fact, he is making some strong statements about how he intends on getting the Department of Justice and possibly the FBI to look into this. So that's what he wants to spend resources on. The same Justice Department and FBI that he just spent the last nearly, 2 years talking about being corrupt and illegitimate because they were investigating him first. So he wants to do this. I don't know if he's actually gonna follow through on it. But what I do love is that Rahm Emanuel responded to these accusations, right? And here's what he had to say.
The only reason Jussie Smollett thought he could get away with this hoax about a hate crime is because of the environment President Trump created. My recommendation as the president, go to opening day baseball, sit on the sideline, stay out of this. You created a toxic environment that Jussie Smollett thinks that hate-filled environment that the president created, pitting one American against another because of their background, then creates an environment he thought he could take advantage of it and create a hoax around a hate crime. It is a vicious, toxic environment and cycle. I want to break it.
So I just want to be clear, Rahm Emanuel is also mad that Jussie Smollett got away with it, in his opinion, and he did a whole press conference furious about it earlier in the week. So, but Trump coming in and trying to stir up the pot and get an FBI investigation doesn't help the matter, and that's why Rahm Emanuel is now mad at Jussie Smollett and Trump.
And I do want to read you Trump's tweet because it again shows you a level of just how much he lacks self-awareness. He says, FBI and DOJ to review the outrageous Jussie Smollett case in Chicago. It's an embarrassment to our nation. I mean, that last part is what I think he lacks self-awareness on.
On both fronts.
Yeah.
I mean, you were just telling us yesterday that the FBI was so corrupted that all they do is witch hunts. Now you're saying, well, I need them to investigate this guy. And then saying that Jussie Smollett got away with it and that's an embarrassment to the nation, when you just got away with it.
I mean,
right?
You defrauded students with a fraudulent university and then became president of the United States. Just think about that. He had to pay a $25 million settlement in that case.
And he had to shut down his so-called charity because he was paying himself through the charity. He's a professional con man, and it's maddening that he's gotten away with all the things that he's gotten away with so far. And now he's like, oh yeah, one black guy got away with something, I think. So I'm gonna make sure that the full force of the law comes down on him. Look, as we've said on the show, I have no idea who's right and wrong on Jussie Smollett. There's so many twists and turns in that case.
Yeah.
And it seems unbelievable that it wasn't Smollett. But I mean, and now his lawyer is saying that the brothers did it and they were in whiteface. I don't know, is that crazy? I have no idea. Everything's crazy around
They were wearing
this
masks.
Case. Yeah.
They were wearing ski masks.
So,
makes no sense. Anyway, I don't know. You're right. There are too many twists and turns. If he did it, it's wrong. And I think that filing a false police report, whatever, no one should be above the law. I don't care about race. I don't care about any of that stuff, right? But we don't know. We don't know the real reason why the prosecutors decided to drop the case. We don't know whether or not Jussie Smollett is actually guilty of doing what he was accused of doing. We don't know. But what I do know is that Trump's a jackass. Like, Trump is just completely unaware of who he really is and how people perceive him. He bases his own self-worth on his base, and his base is unaware of what he's really about. I mean, he's been a lifelong criminal. Like, he has defrauded people, including the IRS, all of his adult life.
Yeah, so, but this does play to the base because he's attacking someone perceived to be on the left, someone who they think made up a story about this being MAGA country and a MAGA attack, et cetera, and someone who's black. So they're like, it's a triple win politically for Donald Trump from his perception. And I want to explain, sometimes the FBI and federal authorities do look into matters. And in this case, there's two unnamed law enforcement officials telling ABC7 in Chicago that the FBI is looking into it. But normally why the FBI might look into a local issue like this one, it's a local crime either way, is if there's a civil rights violation, which would be a federal civil rights violation. But in this case, that doesn't make any sense. Jussie Smollett, everyone involved in the case is black. So there's no civil rights issue at all. So they're just making stuff up. And then my favorite is now the right wing is saying that this is leftist privilege. What? There's no such thing. Historically in this country, the left has been crushed by law enforcement. There is no history in this country, and there are in other countries, right? But not in this one, where the left was so strong that they got leftist privileges. Oh, they're liberals. Oh, please let him out of jail unjustly. It's not a thing. Usually the left gets put into jail unjustly.
Yeah.
Like what you see? Click the subscribe button below and don't forget to ring the bell to never miss another video from the Young Turks.